if you had a storefront on Main Street, USA, and you went to your storefront and you were only open once a month and then you complained that you weren't having customers, I would probably ask, well, maybe if you opened your doors more than once, we might see something there. So to the level in which one wants to grow is to the level in which they are willing to sacrifice, plan, and create content that allows people to connect with them. If you went viral, you get a lot of followers, they might not be primed to be customers.
Yes.
All of a sudden you're too big, they don't think that you're real, people don't think that you're responding to your own messages.
Yep.
Right now, people with small followings have the greatest gift. Perfect is not in. It is not in vogue right now. Then the only thing stopping us truly is...
Welcome to the Fuel Your Flow podcast. I am your host, Valerie Feghali, physical therapist turned software CEO and business coach for health and wellness coaches. We are going to be talking about all things health and business. They might be more closely related than you think. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today, I'm honored to sit down with someone whom I've grown close with over the past year as a mentor and someone I deeply respect, and that is Jasmine Star. Many of you know Jasmine as a powerhouse thought leader and speaker. From watching Jasmine inside of her mastermind, I've seen that she doesn't just teach strategy, but she demonstrates how to lead with clarity and passion. Jasmine has this rare gift of blending a focus of building data-driven businesses while creating deep human connection, which is why her impact is so far-reaching. She challenges coaches to think bigger and lead with authenticity. Over time, I've had the privilege of getting to know her not just as an industry icon, but as someone I look up to and trust. She is the smartest person I know, and she also is so kind and so thoughtful and generous. I can't wait for you to hear the insights from this incredible woman who continues to inspire me. Let's get into it. Jasmine, thank you so much for coming here with me today.
I just feel, number one, I'm very happy and I'm so proud. I am so proud that this actually came to fruition. You're just thriving and glowing.
Thank you.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
I have to talk about 3 little words that made me know that you were the mentor and the coach for me.
Okay.
And it's not I love you. Okay. Can you guess what it is?
No.
Why not? It's you are coachable. And the reason that meant so much to me is because no one has ever said that to me before, because I am a do it yourself, do it your own way kind of girl. But with you, your advice is so thoughtful and so calculated that I would truly be an idiot not to take your advice. And so you've gotten me to do things that are minutes before we launch, in the middle of open cart periods. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this because Jasmine thinks it's a good idea. And it always has worked out for me. So if anyone's looking for a mentor or a mastermind with somebody who knows how to pull all of the right levers, that is absolutely you. So I appreciate you.
Okay, as a side note, and I don't think I've ever told you, is that was what my very first mastermind mentor told me. And we had been, I had worked with him 4 years in a row. And during our second year, he had told me that. And to me, I felt like I had never received a higher compliment. And for the first time in my life, it felt like something was so true. I really did feel coachable. I just never had a coach. And so for me to say the same thing to you, in my mind, is the highest compliment I can give you. And so the fact that it resonated makes me feel really, really, really good. I am so proud of you. You are an activator. Like, it's nice to be a coach to somebody who could take advice and just say, all right, let's go. And it's very few people. So highly coachable.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, all of your advice has helped me scale past places that I didn't
Even
think
when
I would
I like share advice and then your eyes get as big as saucers and you're like, oh, wait, you mean like right now? And I was like, absolutely. Are you in? And you're like, okay, okay, here we go.
I remember a few times you saying, can you do this? Do you think it's like feasible for you to get this done in the next couple of days? And I'm like, And meanwhile, I'm like sweating and so nervous and shaking. And I'm like, how on earth? But we're going to do it.
Because you're coachable, baby. You're coachable. Exactly.
Do it.
Exactly.
So knowing what you know now about how the market has changed with marketing, with visibility, putting yourself out there, what would you do today if you didn't have any followers, any members? How would you get your first 100 members?
I would do the same dang thing that I'm doing now. And I think that people get really sick and tired. I have been saying the same thing for over a decade, Valerie. And it's consistency. It is literally posting every day. If you're saying you don't have followers, well, I would simply ask, how often are you showing up?
Yep.
If you had a storefront on Main Street, USA, and you went to your storefront and you were only open once a month, and then you complained that you weren't having customers, I would probably ask, well, maybe if you opened your doors more than once, we might see something there. Social media is the same thing. It is your digital storefront for people to get to know you. And even if they don't buy initially, they will remember your store. They will remember things that were special about you. They will remember how you made them feel. That is all content. So to the level in which one wants to grow is to the level in which they are willing to sacrifice, plan, and create content that allows people to connect with them. So I would do the same thing. I would create with consistency. I would figure out what I want to talk about that speaks directly to a pain point. And then I want to educate people about a solution. Now, if my membership is on the back of that solution, fantastic. And it might not always be. Sometimes there's solutions that I'm talking about that are free or that are easily findable on the web, which is great. And then every so often, I also introduce my offer as a solution to their pain point. And now people trust me. And now we just begin the transaction. So conversations, people leave a comment or they leave a DM that leads to conversions. And I believe that right now, especially if you are new, starting out, or even when you want to scale, one-to-one connections on DM are going to be the best thing to ever grow a membership, hands down. And people are like, well, if I went viral, no. If you went viral, you get a lot of followers. They might not be primed to be customers. All of a sudden, you're too big. They don't think that you're real. People don't think that you're responding to your own messages. Right now, people with small followings have the greatest gift, and that is to be able to go to people, start conversations, position your solution to their greatest desire, and then you get customers.
That was one way you got me hooked on the mastermind, was that...
Tell me.
Yeah, was you reached out to me. You know, I got a voice memo from Jasmine Star. And so I knew it was her. I knew it wasn't your, team. And that was huge to me, to have that voice memo, to hear your voice saying, hey, Valerie, I see you. I see what you're doing. You know, come join our mastermind. And I'm like, heck yes, I'm going to join. Yeah.
I remember this specifically. Okay, so let's go back and let's talk a little bit about relationship building and why this was working specifically for that. So I got to know Valerie because I was teaching a free class. It was a no pitch class. And I was talking about scaling 7-figure businesses. And Valerie, you had mentioned something in the chat.
Okay.
And that was the thing that caught my attention. And no, you probably shouldn't be looking at the chat when you're teaching. You had mentioned something in the chat. It was probably just like an introduction, just of yourself. Okay. And the team had noticed it too. And then we, on the back end, started saying, okay, who is leaving comments and who do we want to go? And so we just searched for you. We found you. I followed you. I saw what you did. And I said, she's incredible. So I want to create a relationship. I needed to reach out to you before you ever reached out to me. And that to me is the work that I do at a $30,000 transaction or even at a $6,000 transaction. When you want people to come into your membership, they have to know you, like you, and trust you. And that really happens with one-to-one connection.
100%. Yeah, it would have been totally different if I would have gotten an email or if I would have gotten, a push to a sales page. So that did it for me.
Good.
Yeah. Do you feel that to get to 10K or 20K months for a membership program that you need to run paid advertisements?
No.
Oh.
I don't.
It's a different answer than I was expecting.
Well, now here's the thing. If you adhere to the 3 pillars that I just subscribed to around consistency and content and doing that, I do think like organic is alive and well. Like it just is. Yeah. But organic goes to the people who show up.
Okay.
Period. The end. Now, if you just know that that's completely out of alignment for you, that level of content creation is not for you, well then great. You're going to be required to make some content and then you're going to pay for visibility.
Okay.
And so both of those can be true. I happen to believe and subscribe to I create content and I post every single day, sometimes twice a day. And that has afforded me very, very great very, very great. Is that even properly? Very, very great. Great, phenomenal organic reach. And then when I use ads, it's just an amplification. So I don't want to use ads as the fire starter. I want to use my organic content as the fire and use ads as gasoline.
Okay.
And so when you're showing up consistently, you have cheaper cost per leads. You have more efficacy. You know what your audience wants to see. You know what's going to be cheap. You know your cost of customer acquisition. And so in my mind, yes, it's requiring me more work, but I'm also making a lot more profit on the back of that.
Okay. So I'm hearing that there's a cost to everything.
Everything.
So essentially, you either have to be extremely consistent, posting twice a day or posting at least minimum of once a day, making sure you're doing those DM outreaches so you're getting that personal touch with people, or if you can't do that, maybe you can spend some money towards ads and help to boost the fire a little bit. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep. But I know from experience and also from working with you that having your organic content that works so beautifully for you, and then knowing what to push money on ads too.
Right.
Because sometimes if we have all this, we create ads, and this happens with me often, is that I'll create an ad, but it doesn't do that well because I haven't necessarily tested it organically. And so what I see you doing is testing your content organically and then pushing ads to things that are working.
100. 100. Like, the market is never wrong. When somebody responds to something organically, we are immediately put money behind it. And that has been so powerful in building out funnels. And it's so much less effective. I mean, it's so much more effective because if somebody has watched my content before, we can retarget them with something that they're more inclined to watch again if it's similar in nature. That drives down the cost. And so if we can retarget somebody like once or twice and then target them with a story ad, which are traditionally like really like not as expensive as like a sign up for a particular webinar. It's just like a know, like, and trust, or send me a DM.
Yeah.
They are so cheap and it's so effective.
Okay. One thing that I have gotten from you over time is the consistency thing, but then also just being okay with being bad at something sometimes. And, you know, you always tell me, just do it, just keep doing it. Like, even if it doesn't look perfect the first time, or, and I would not necessarily call myself a perfectionist. However, I don't like to put stuff out there that I'm maybe not so proud of at times. But I think the fact is, in order for us to develop a skill and in order for us to get good at something, we really do need those reps, those consistent reps, right? Like you're saying, just post every day. Just keep doing it on a consistent basis, and that content will get better and better.
And people hear that, and I know that it's very intimidating. And so I don't want somebody to hear this and be like, gosh, I would never. Okay, no problem. But find something, find a number that you are going to be able to say that you're committed to. Because the ironic thing about coaches is coaches will coach what they are so accustomed to and what they're the best at. But if you give them something else to be coached upon, it's like, oh, I don't know. You know, it's like if I want to be coached in fitness and my coach is up at 4 a.m. and doing all these other things, and then I tell my coach, hey, you have to create some content so you get more people to come in for your coaching. Oh, I can't do that.
Right.
You know, and so one thing that is intimidating to begin with, but we can set benchmarks. So Rich Divini calls them horizons. And when we look at a horizon, we can look and say, okay, ultimately that's the horizon I want to get to, but I'm going to feel really intimidated, tired, and overwhelmed trying to get to my ultimate goal, which might be to post every day. No problem. What is a first horizon that we might be able to set? Can I consistently show up and create content twice a week? The minute I do that for 30 days, I take a deep dive assessment and say, can I push it to 3 times a week, twice a month? So what we do is we expand our horizon lines to ultimately get to where we want to go. I would never expect somebody who's creating one piece of content every 2 weeks to be able to say, I'm going to go every day. That's too much of a stretch. But what I want to like really hone in is we have to get a little bit uncomfortable to get an outsized result. And I think that's the thing that I've pushed you on is like, this is how far we've gotten. Now, Valerie, I'm going to push you a little bit more because we want a different result. But I'm going to go back a little bit. On a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 being like ultra perfectionist and 1 being laissez-faire, where are you at?
Oh, gosh. Well, my friends would probably tell me that I am on the very low scale of perfectionism, but I don't necessarily know that that's true. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving myself a 7.
Wow. I think I'd probably rank you higher. From my perspective, you are so thoughtful about everything that in your estimation, that your audience, it warrants something to be beautiful and perfect. And that's why I think that I've been really pushing you to be like, less perfect. And what we see actually in marketing, our best performing ads, Valerie, are the ones that I just did in my car. Like a talking head, like, hey, this is a thing. I'm like literally just in my backyard.
No planning went into it.
No planning, no articulation. The silly off the cuff does really well. And so if we have like literally market feedback, and we have quant and data to say that perfect is not in, it is not in vogue right now, then the only thing stopping us truly is ourselves.
Okay.
And so that's the thing that it's like, I hear this and I'm like, okay, do we have an estimation of what we think we ourselves as perfectionists are. And then as an outsider, I'm like, I'd probably give you more of like an 8.5 just as your coach. Be like,
specific.
great, let's get, I know. Cause I'm like, it's not a 9, but it's not, you're a little bit more than 8. So I give you an 8.5, but I'm like, I want you to go to the 7.
Yeah.
Let's get out. Like, do we have the humility enough to put out a piece of content that we would say, oh, this is a C+?
So consistent over perfection.
Absolutely.
And one thing I have heard you say before during the mastermind was consistency first and then interesting second.
Oh,
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Oh my gosh, you have such a good memory. Okay. So, I mean, and here's the thing. This is a major caveat. I was talking about somebody in the mastermind who was posting every single day, who was on stories with 4 or 5 stories a day, who was very active in her DMs. And one thing I had said is that as we're building our personal brands, consistency is key.
Okay.
That's just it. Yeah. And I said, but once you have proven that you can be consistent, once you feel like I am consistent, then the next step is I have to be interesting. Because consistency, once you set your mind to it, isn't hard. Okay. It's just a routine. When we decide we are going to be consistent and post every single day, it just becomes a routine. It's not easy, but it's simple. And so I'm choosing simple. And then after you've met the bar, there's a lot of people in your space that are doing simple things consistently, right? There's a lot of people who are your competitors or offer something along the lines where they are simply consistent. After that, you have to break out from the crew and you need to be interesting.
Okay.
The people who have outsized results on social media are first consistent and then they're interesting. And what does interesting mean? It's taking a unique perspective on something that cuts through the cultural zeitgeist. So can you look at what's going on in the world at that moment and make a piece of content that is scrappy, real, but speaks to your unique perspective on something that's happening culturally? That's interesting. That's different. That is not what every other coach in your industry is saying. And that's the stuff that gets the most attention.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the stuff that's where I struggle is the timely stuff, because I like to prepare things way in advance.
Yes.
But people want to see what's trending. They want to see what's timely.
Absolutely.
And so you have to be relevant.
Yes.
And interesting.
And not all of your content, but you will see, like, right when you mix it up, the time of this recording, and I'm going to be dating it, but there's a Taylor Swift trend going on. And I immediately looked at this, and I had batched content all day prior to coming here.
Okay.
And I just knew immediately, okay, we're batching content. I batch my content once a month. And so when we look at trends, I need to know, like, okay, we're recording this today. If I am not posting this in the next 4 days, then I'm not going to record it today. And they said, okay, we'll make sure that it's done. This are the things that we're getting out. And so in my mind, being on trend, just make sure that it's up on it and plan for it.
Okay. And then would you just take all of that you've batched already, and then if you see a trend and you're like, I got to get on this in the next couple days, just also make content for that and post that.
And so I batch once a month, and that's to keep my coffers full. But I am also creating on the fly, just anything in my car, doing my makeup, a hot take on something that had happened. Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing that at least once a week.
Okay. One of the things that you did in your mastermind with all of us was have us write down our top objective or task or thing we want to get done on a domino. And you were explaining the domino as this thing that we need to do or achieve in order for everything else down the line to make sense and work. And what I put on that domino was, I need whale affiliates. I need large affiliates, because right now we are doing everything we can to promote ourselves, but how can we get other people to promote us as well? Within the last 2 weeks since your mastermind, we have landed 2 whale affiliates.
Get out! Wow.
But I have learned a bit from you, and I think I have so much more to learn from you about building strong business relationships. So can you speak on that? What are a couple top things that you do in order to start building that relationship with somebody that you have not had any connection with just yet?
Absolutely. So number one, I would consume over 100 hours of their content. Whatever it is, I want to deeply know them, like intimately. People share a lot of information about themselves, but sometimes we're not patient enough to actually go deep and archive what it is they do. Secondly, I would subscribe to their newsletters if they have it. Okay. Thirdly, I would follow them on all forms of social media. And I would ensure that I'm subscribing. You know how you can follow somebody's account? I would be following it, so I would be getting their notifications. Okay. And the best way for me to actually kind of cut through the noise would be to send quick replies or reactions to somebody's Instagram story.
Gotcha.
And then what I'm trying to do is offer insights. I'm not asking questions. I'm looking for things that they might like. Even small things like if they just went on vacation, I would make maybe recommendation for like a vacation book that they might like to read there, or an article that I might have found interesting. I'm creating human to human connections just to let them know that this is who I am and this is what I do. Also, I have a powerful platform in that I create content. So if I really wanted to court you and I wanted you to become an affiliate for me, it might make sense for me to go to some of your content. I might share your content, highlight your content, shout you out, leave a review, do something to signal to you, hey, I'm here, I like what it is you're doing, and anytime you would like to go deeper, let's do that.
Okay, so you're showing them that you see them, you're researching them,
yes,
making sure that what you're reaching out to with them resonates with them, that they can relate to it.
Yes.
Now, when you want to go deeper with them, when it's time you've kind of built up that I see you factor, what do you do next to actually make that formal connection?
It depends how big the ask is. So normally I would start with a small ask, and the small ask would be almost if I can make it a give. Like I would probably invite somebody on my podcast, or I would probably say, hey, can I interview you? I have a newsletter list of these many people and I would like to do like a quick Q&A session. So what I'm trying to do is signal first that before I ask you, I want you to get to know me. How can I get to know me? Was let me do something for you.
Okay. So you're giving, and you've explained it to us before as deposits and withdrawals, right? So you're putting in your deposits first before you ask for any kind of withdrawal.
I will be more likely to get, I mean, just think about this. If I went to the bank and I had not put any money in the bank and I'm asking it for $100, I'm not going to get it. And relationships are just like that. You have to pour into it. And best thing is like a good relationship is like a savings account. So if I'm pouring into you, not expecting anything, and I'm playing the long maturation game, when I do ask for something, the interest that has built, I can still pull out and there's still be plenty of money left over.
I find too that sometimes I think I want to work with somebody and then I get to know them a little bit more and I realize that, you know what, maybe this isn't the strongest business relationship that I want to cultivate. So I'm grateful for having gotten to know them first a little bit. Would you agree that there have been situations like that for you?
100%. And oftentimes where I'm like so into a person, I'd love to like collaborate in some capacity. By me giving them something, I get to see like how we work together. And I'm like, oh, this is great for what it was. I definitely don't want to go deeper.
Okay. If you have gone deeper with that person, do you have any strategies of pulling back?
Oh, I mean, I could just tell you everything I did wrong. Like I have like, you know, just failed relationships, friendships. I easily in the beginning got confused between thinking that like a business relationship was a friendship, and that was very difficult for me. I didn't look at some business relationships in a way that I thought I would need a contract. Probably my greatest regrets. There was like a lot of unpacking to do, plenty of years of therapy, because I just felt so stupid that I was like, oh, I thought a friend would never do me dirty. And it wasn't a friend, it was a business person who took advantage and walked away with the lion's share. And so, yeah, I can tell you the things to do wrong. And now I deeply, deeply understand that you and I are friendly, and what we have is a business relationship. At some point, it might expand from there, but I'm definitely sure and always clear, as hard as it is, that what this is business.
Okay. So there's that clear distinction that you put between your friends and your family and your business partners.
Absolutely.
So let's flip the script on that. And people who are affiliates for you, what do you do for them to make their life easier in order to push your products?
Oh, it's content in all the ways. And I have noticed that the best affiliates are the people who are talking about your offer, services, or membership naturally, because they're already excited and it's coming from such a real place that anytime you can give them something. Like, so for instance, they already have a fire of desire around what it is you're offering. Now, if you give them something that acts as the gasoline, then everything takes off in disproportionate ways. And so I'm always finding out ways to strategize content for them, give them resources, connect them to people that would help elevate or amplify what it is they're doing. Maybe spend some time on how to organize their content. Like if they're saying that they spend X amount of time, I'm like, okay, this is the thing that I do. I'm going to give you tips and tricks on how you can 3X your output in the same amount of time. Why? It's going to be a benefit to us. Absolutely. And so what we do is we create all types of like messaging content, colors, fonts, insights that we've seen worked really well for us, the right words to use. And then we're incentivizing them. Like when their content performs, they get money as the back of it.
Okay. Yes, I have tried to affiliate for a couple business coaches because with the Wellness Vault content for health and wellness coaches, we want our health and wellness coaches to be successful in their business, right? We want them to run a successful business. And so we've worked with some business coaches to see, hey, is there something here? And one thing that I expect as being an affiliate is that they're going to make my life easy to showcase them. And so I think when you're looking for an affiliate or looking for somebody to affiliate for you, that you need to have everything done for them, the swipe files,
Yes.
the email templates, the,
Yes.
creatives for social
Yes.
media, all of that. Do workshops that are just value-based, that maybe you're not pitching, that maybe you're not asking, but they're just providing more content, more value for their audience. And that can go a long way.
And then in regards to it, just specifically for the Wellness Vault, the coaches that you would want to recommend, you should be asking them at least once a quarter to do a free session on the inside, because then your affiliate becomes so much stronger.
Yes.
You're highlighting them, you're adding value to people that are there, and then you're allowing those future customers to be wildly pre-qualified for the affiliate that you send.
So it comes back to the consistency again, where
Absolutely.
you're saying that once a quarter, let's be visible together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As far as finding places to network with people that you know could be strong relationships, where would you go to do that?
Well, I'm just going to say, like, you and I, we connected on the back of social media.
Yeah.
And so I have noticed that the best relationships for me now, and it will absolutely change, it will be social media, then it would move on into direct message, and then it will likely turn into possibly like text message. And it's very common for me to set up a 15 or 20 minute Zoom chat.
Yes.
It's like that type of stuff has been really amazing. And when I am meeting with somebody for the first time for 15 or 20 minutes, I am just naturally hardwired to think, what can I do for this person? Who can I connect them with? And so on my podcast, if I have somebody come in, I always ask them at the end of it, I'm like, is there anybody that I can introduce you to or make a connection to? Because I'm so thankful that they came on my podcast. If there's anything I could do, that's what I want. And what I've noticed is that when I do that, they will often say, I've had such a great time. I want to introduce you to somebody who I think would be a great guest. It has been so powerful that the guests that we've been able to land on the show has large part been word of mouth. And when you get a recommendation from somebody in a different network to say, you should get to know this woman, it's been a total game changer. So most online, very slowly getting a little bit closer and closer to a call, to an invite to share a platform. And then from there asking, what can I do for you? Which law of reciprocation, they ask in return.
Having that openness with your community, and you've even told me, hey, if you need to use my team for this in XYZ, like you've been more than generous. And if I can ever give back, I absolutely won't even think twice about it. And so, yes, I can see you giving, and how that has worked out for you.
Okay, so then let's practice it now. What would you need as you're starting your podcast, as you're expanding your personal brand? What could I do for you?
To share it with your
Hey, great, absolutely. And like, let's call a spade a spade. I'm a businesswoman.
So what can I do for you, Jasmine?
Well, number one, succeed. Okay. The best thing that you could do is to win at your own game so that you become the outlier and you give me the ability to market what we do. Yeah. Like it's a very competitive space, and I don't actually believe in competition. I believe in abundance, but the amount of women who built 7-figure businesses is very, very small. Yeah. Studies show it's like 0.7% of American business owners are female. Yeah. So if I have an offer that's for a 0.7% founder and she gets outsized results on the back of that, that is a total win for me. So if you say, and I know you, if I ask you to do something, you do it because it's a strong suggestion, and then you go through, you get outsized results for doing things most people won't. That makes you look great. Then you go through on the back of this, decide, I'm going to go deep on my personal brand. I'm going to expand. I'm going to start creating content in a new way. And then you invite me to come. I would not come if I didn't think you had the capacity to stick with it and absolutely succeed. And the more you succeed, the better our relationship becomes. And when you ask me of something, I'm going to say, absolutely. And on the back of my mind, I'm already thinking of, through the content lens, how do I do this to position as a call to action to my audience to sign up for a mastermind? Because in just 2 years, this woman has gone from something to something freaking amazing.
Yes. And you know that I would meet with anybody, that I would, come on to any of your workshops, so that no questions asked to share my experience, because it has been so incredible.
Thank you.
So what are you most excited about for the future of your business?
So we have an offer called the Consistent 10K, and it's different than I've ever done before. And the reason I'm excited is because it's challenged me in more ways than I can ever like fully assess. In such a short amount of time, we have built out a sales team. So this is a new way of me doing sales. It is outside of my brand. And I think that that is wildly intimidating. And it's intimidating because it's so new. You have other people representing the thing that you're selling. So we've started a new sales department, a setting department, a sales lead, and a whole system of SOPs around what this department will be. And then we've also created an entirely other department of coaches. And this is a whole new world for me. And so I have often said that the things I'm most proud of are the things that have been the things that have stretched me, have pushed me, have been the most agonizing, because I look back and I think if it didn't kill me, I am so much stronger. And I think that these moments are at the times now I've been in this long enough to know that I'm like, dang, when it's real dark, it's going to be real bright. And so on the back of the darkness, that following morning has always been so glorious. And so I'm excited to get to that point.
And you're doing it publicly. So if anybody is interested in watching Jasmine,
Lord, yeah.
Follow the Instagram, listen to her podcast because she's speaking about all of the challenges that you're overcoming, all of the mistakes that you've made. Everything is out there in the raw. And so whoever's interested in following along that journey, make sure that you're listening to.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And Valerie, when we talked about networking and connecting people, one of the things that I have found, and it's not for everybody, but being public about the build has allowed people to have a very distinct opinion about me. Okay. And some people I'm pushing farther away. They don't like how I'm doing it, or they may not agree with it. But some people feel so indebted and thankful that they get an inside look at what that looks like, because they don't talk about this in business school. Right. They don't. Many people, what we like to do is, Brene Brown calls it gold-plated grit. What we like to show is, oh, we had this hard thing, and now let me just kind of gold plate it. It's been great, and ta-da, look at how great it is. It's not that hard. And so when you do something and you're really bringing people along within the suck, and then showing the resilience that it takes to do the thing that somebody else is aspiring to do, and you show them, don't make these mistakes. And when you show them, this is how we make it better, and then it empowers them, they become about you and they become your network without you even knowing. So sometimes I'll go out on Instagram and I'll say, like, does anybody know this? Or anybody know that? And people will have this outpouring of just support, because they're just like, can we please share something with you because what you've given? And I just think it's really beautiful, because I'm like, wow, I really suck and I don't know it all. And just to be so open, and people are like, thanks for sharing how ugly it is. We just want to like connect and build a network on the outside of this. And so I think that has been like one of the best things about it.
And then you're getting your true heart and soul followers, right?
Absolutely.
Those people that aren't judging you for anything. They just, they want to see how to do it.
They're rooting for you.
Yes, they're rooting for you.
Yeah,
I love that.
Which has been incredible.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. You are amazing, incredible. I aspire to be in many ways like you. So thank you so much for coming.
You're the best. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our conversation from today. Any links we discussed will be in the show notes below. Also, we would be incredibly grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review. This helps us keep the podcast going so that we can continue to provide value for all of you. I hope we see you on the next one.